We are used to seeing the Kalashnikov rifle in black, orange or plum color. However, in addition to them, there was another AK version from a special green series. Who is awarded such a rare rifle, and why particularly this color? And what do the strange cartridges with a white bullet, which are in fact also rare, mean? So, the first version of the green AK was the A3 rifle. It appeared in 1967 as part of the Lightness project and was essentially an early version of the AK-74. A little later, the A5 rifle was created, which was an early version of the AK-74 with AKMS-style stock and gas block. Initially, both of these rifles had wooden fittings, and only the grips were made of plastic. However, the designers continued to work on further introduction of plastic parts. This would reduce the weight and cost of the weapon. As a result, in 1973, the Russians produced 50 A3 rifles with orange-colored AG4 plastic fittings. This is its natural color, i.e. without the addition of dye. AG4 is a glass-filled plastic based on bakelite. After some time, 50 new A5 rifles were also produced, but with one difference. The first half of the batch of rifles had the same orange fittings, while the second half had parts made with green dye added. According to the results of the tests, it was found out that fittings made of pure AG4 without dye were more durable than those made with the usage of green dye. But why did the Russians create an AK with green fittings in the first place? Many believe it was done specifically for the border service. Actually, no. Initially, AK rifles of the special green series were tested only in infantry and paratroopers. When it became clear that the green AK was inferior in durability to the AK with orange fittings, the Russians refused to put it in service with their army. However, they didn't dump it completely. The lesser durability compared to the orange fittings did not mean that the green parts were completely fragile. Besides, the green AK was attractive thanks to its unusualness and aesthetics. It was then that it was decided to transfer it as a reward weapon to the border troops, whose uniform has always been easily distinguishable by the green color. So, the first awarding was held in 1973. Especially for this purpose, a regulation on the competition was developed. According to it, the best border guard was chosen in each of the 10 border districts. Mikhail Kalashnikov personally handed each of them an AK with green-colored fittings. On the right side of the receiver was a steel plate with a congratulatory inscription from Mikhail Kalashnikov. After a border guard was discharged, the green rifle remained at the outpost and then was handed over by the commander to the next best border guard, and a corresponding entry was made in the outpost book. In addition to the grip, handguard, magazine, cover and stock, the scabbard and bayonet knife handle were made in green plastic. So, the AK with green fittings got to the border troops by accident and could have become a familiar part of the image of the entire Soviet army 50 years ago. And what kind of strange cartridges with white bullet are loaded into the AK-74 rifle? These are army cartridges of 7H3 brand, which are just blanks. But then, the question is, why do they need a bullet? After all, we know that blank cartridges have only a powder charge to simulate firing during training. In fact, this white bullet is a prop bullet. It's made of lightweight plastic and is hollow inside, so almost all of it burns up inside the barrel when fired. The remaining pieces scatter and fly out of the rifle 20 meters ahead. For firing blanks, a muzzle device called VHS is used. It is basically just a nozzle, in which the diameter is narrowed to about 3 or 4 millimeters. This increases the pressure and allows the rifle to be fired in bursts, as the blank cartridges themselves do not have enough energy to pull the bolt carrier back. The white bullet itself can be broken even with the fingers, but it cannot be called completely harmless. During training, Russian soldiers were forbidden to shoot at the conditional enemy from a distance of less than 30 meters. Another task of the white bullet is to ensure the reliability of the automatics. Without it, the cartridge would be too short. Plus, cartridges with white bullet are less likely to contaminate the rifle with powder gases. Currently, 7H3 cartridges are not used in the Russian army. They have been replaced by the new 7H3M, which has no bullet simulator. The cartridge is simply crimped at the end in a star shape and lengthened to ensure reliable fitting. That's all for today. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe to the channel. See you next week.